All right, get ready, because today we're shrinking ourselves down, way down to the nano level. We're talking nanocrystals, those things so tiny, you need a superpowered microscope to even see them.
We're talking a billionth of a meter here.
A billionth? It's hard to even wrap your head around. But get this. These practically invisible particles are poised to revolutionize, well, practically everything. We're talking brighter TVs, more powerful solar panels, even life-changing medical advancements, all thanks to these tiny tweaks in the way we build things.
It's incredible to think that such small changes, we're talking atomic level here, can lead to such huge leaps in technology.
Exactly. And today we're focusing on some really groundbreaking research coming out of Curtin University in Australia. They made a discovery about zinc sulfide nanocrystals that could completely change how we design everyday tech. You ready to dive into this?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first, when we say nanocrystals, what are we even talking about?
So imagine microscopic Legos, but instead of plastic, they're made of materials with really unique properties. And because of their size, their super tiny size, we're talking smaller than a wavelength of light, they have these superpowers.
Superpowers. Okay, I like the way you think.
They can do things that bigger particles just can't, and that's what makes them so useful, so powerful for all sorts of applications. Think about it. We can actually manipulate matter at its most fundamental level, atoms and molecules. We can essentially program these nanocrystals to have specific properties and functions. It's like having a molecular toolbox.
That's wild. It's like we're entering a whole new dimension of engineering and design.
Exactly. And the possibilities are pretty much endless.
Okay, so we've got these tiny particles with incredible potential. Now, this research focuses on zinc sulfide nanocrystals. Why zinc sulfide? I feel like I've heard of that before.
Oh, you definitely have. Zinc sulfide nanocrystals are already used in a ton of technologies we use every day. Think high-definition PVs, sensors, even those super detailed images doctors use for medical imaging. So even before this new research, they were already making a big impact.
Wow, I had no idea. So they're already in use, but this new research takes things even further.
Exactly. The team at Curtin University figured out how to make molecules stick to the surface of these nanocrystals much more effectively.
Okay, that might sound kind of basic, but why is that such a big deal?
It's all about control. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to build a house, but the bricks won't stay put. It'd be a disaster.
Yeah, total chaos.
Same thing with nanocrystals. The molecules we can attach to their surface, those are like the mortar that holds everything together. They basically dictate how the nanocrystals behave and how well they function within, say, a device.
So stickier nanocrystals, better tech.
Exactly. More control, better performance, and this is where it gets really cool. The shape of the nanocrystal actually influences how well things stick to it.
Wait, really? The shape matters, even at that tiny scale.
It does. The researchers found that flatter nanocrystals, which they're calling nanoplatelets, are like molecular Velcro. They have more surface area for other molecules to grab onto compared to rounder shapes like, say, nanodots. Imagine trying to stick magnets on a flat surface versus a bumpy one. You get a much stronger connection on that flat surface.
Okay, that's a great way to visualize it. So flatter is stickier. Got it. Now, you keep mentioning these sticky molecules that we're attaching. What are those called again?
Ligands. They're like tiny handles that we can attach to the nanocrystals, and the more handles we can attach, the more we can fine-tune how those nanocrystals behave. That's why the shape discovery is such a game changer. We've got more surface area, more room for ligands.
More ligands, more control, better performance. I'm following you. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second. What does this all actually mean for, the average person? What kind of changes are we talking about seeing because of this?
Well, this has the potential to revolutionize a ton of different fields, starting with optoelectronics.
Opto what now?
Optoelectronics. It's a mouthful, I know, but basically anything that produces and uses light.
Wait, so that's almost everything, isn't it? Give me some specifics.
Right. We're talking LEDs. Those are in your phone, your TV, energy-efficient light bulbs everywhere. And with this discovery, we could see LEDs that are even brighter and more energy efficient.
Now, that's something I can get behind: brighter screens and lower energy bills.
Absolutely. And it doesn't stop there. This discovery could also have a huge impact on solar panel technology.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Solar panels are already pretty incredible, so how can these nanocrystals make them even better?
It all comes down to efficiency. You see, solar panels work by converting sunlight into electricity, right? But with these modified nanocrystals, we can actually make solar cells that are even better at capturing that sunlight and turning it into usable energy. That means more power from the same amount of sunshine.
So, more efficient and more powerful solar panels all thanks to these tiny particles. Incredible. What else? What else can these little powerhouses do?
Well, remember how I mentioned medical imaging earlier?
Yeah, with the zinc sulfide.
Exactly. Well, this discovery could totally shake things up in that field, too. Think of all the different types of medical imaging that use light to see inside the human body. And now, imagine those tools, but with even greater precision, producing images that are way clearer thanks to these modified nanocrystals. That means more accurate diagnoses and better outcomes for patients.
Wow, it's really amazing to think that something so small can have such a massive impact on so many different areas of our lives. It really makes you appreciate the power of scientific discovery, doesn't it? Who knew that something a billionth of a meter could be so important? And we're back, still geeking out over here about nanocrystals and all the amazing things they can do.
And you know what's really cool? We're still just scratching the surface here. Oh, yeah. This research we've been talking about, it's super promising, but it's really just the beginning. There's so much more to learn, so much more potential to unlock.
It's like we're standing at the edge of a whole new world, like a technological frontier.
You know, in a lot of ways, we already are living in a nanotech revolution.
Really? I mean, I know we're talking about all these incredible future applications, but
Think about it. Nanotechnology is already all around us, even if we don't always realize it. The smartphones we use, the advanced materials, things like airplanes and spaceships, even some medicines, nanotechnology is a part of it.
you're right. I never thought of it like that. It's like nanotechnology went from this futuristic concept to like an everyday reality.
Exactly. And as we keep exploring and unlocking the secrets of the nanoworld, we can expect to see even more breakthroughs that will shape the future. Imagine a world with super efficient solar panels that power entire cities, or medical imaging so precise it can detect diseases at the cellular level, or even self-healing materials. I mean, the possibilities are mind-blowing.
It's almost hard to fathom, isn't it? All that potential, all thanks to these tiny, tiny particles.
Yeah.
It's both incredibly exciting and, I don't know, a little bit daunting at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. With great power comes great responsibility. Right.
Right.
It's not just about what we can do with this technology, but also about what we should do.
Exactly. So how do we make sure we're using this technology responsibly? I mean, where do we even begin to have that conversation?
Well, it starts with open dialogue. Scientists, policymakers, the public, we all need to be talking about the ethical implications of these advancements. We need to make sure these technologies benefit all of humanity.
I couldn't agree more. It's not enough to just invent something new. We need to be asking the tough questions along the way. How do we ensure these technologies are accessible to everyone? What about the potential environmental impact? Are there any unforeseen consequences we need to consider?
Exactly. These are the conversations we need to be having now to shape the future of nanotechnology.
It's a lot to think about. But, I'd rather be having these conversations now than trying to play catch up later.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things I find so fascinating about science. It's not just about the discoveries themselves, but also about the bigger questions they raise.
Absolutely. And I think that's something we often lose sight of, in the rush to innovate and create. We sometimes forget to step back and consider the wider implications.
Well, I, for one, am glad we're having this conversation. And on that note, I think we need to take a quick pause. We'll be right back to wrap up this nanotech adventure, so don't go anywhere.
And we're back for one last trip into the nano world. We've talked about LEDs, solar panels, even medical imaging, but I feel like there's a whole other layer to this. This almost feels philosophical.
It absolutely is. I mean, think about it. When we talk about nanotechnology, we're not just talking about building smaller gadgets. We're talking about understanding and manipulating the fundamental building blocks of matter.
It's like we're trying to unlock the universe's secrets one tiny atom at a time. Exactly. And the more we learn about how materials behave at this nanoscale, the more possibilities open up. It's like we're getting a front row seat to the most incredible show ever, the intricate dance of atoms and molecules.
It's mind-blowing when you really think about it. We go about our day, we don't even realize this invisible world is happening all around us at such a tiny scale.
Yeah.
Yet it holds the potential to change everything.
It really does. And the beauty of it is that we're constantly making new discoveries. It's a never-ending journey of exploration, and that's what makes it so exciting. Every question we answer leads to even more question.
I bet. So for our listeners who are now totally hooked on nanotech, where should they go to learn more? What would you recommend?
Oh, there are so many great resources out there. Scientific journals are a great place to start, like, for instance, the Journal of the American Chemical Society.
Hmm.
They often have cutting-edge nanotechnology research. And of course, universities with strong nanotech programs are always doing fascinating work. A lot of that research is available to the public.
That's awesome. And hey, maybe this deep dive will even inspire some future nanotechnologists out there. You never know who's listening.
I hope so. We need curious minds like that to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Well said. It's been an amazing journey exploring the nano world with you. For everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this incredible deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, and we'll catch you on our next adventure into the world of science and technology.